DO-OOUUU. My name is Don. I see you. Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing today? On this fine Friday. It's the end of the week. You made it to the end. Congratulations. You also made it back to Donnyland. On today's episode of Donnyland, brought to you by OG Donny, we will be reacting to how TKO killed Roman Reigns completely. Is more blame being put on TKO? He's still a legend, bro. He's still the biggest pop whenever his music comes on. Every return he has, it's like he was never gone. I don't know if he's completely ruined. I don't know. But Wrestleverse, the creator of this video, thinks so. So let's hear what they have to say. Acknowledge me.
Looking at a Roman Reigns that doesn't feel like Roman Reigns anymore. The aura has shifted, the momentum has slowed down, and fans everywhere are starting to question whether the Roman we knew at the height of his run is even still here. Buckle up, because we're going deep into why Roman isn't Roman.
I think it's natural, though. You can't be at the top of your game forever.
LeBron
Top
James.
of his game was really him coming into his own, and then he dominated like those 4 or 5 years. And now he's just, you know, doing what he got to do. He's in Hollywood. He's part-time. He's making the big bucks, man. He's Roman Reigns.
Roman anymore, what that means for WWE's future, and whether he can ever get that spark back. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tell us in the comments what you think about Roman's current run. Now let's get into it. When Roman first became the tribal chief, it felt like lightning in a bottle. The promos had a new edge, the presence was undeniable, and the storytelling with Jey Uso brought a kind of intensity fans hadn't seen in years. He wasn't just another top guy, he was the guy. Every segment was about him, every show felt like it revolved around him, and he managed to capture the attention of hardcore fans and
Bro, the beginning of the Bloodline saga, whoo! That was peak TV. Paul Heyman has said multiple times they should have won some Emmys. Roman Reigns should be he should have been some awards because his work as a tribal chief, whoo, man,
casual viewers at the same time. For once, it didn't feel like WWE was forcing Roman down our throats. It felt like we were seeing the real Roman Reigns unleashed. But the problem with creating a larger-than-life aura is that once you step back, once you lose that constant presence, the shine starts to fade. Roman's part-time schedule was supposed to make him feel special, but it ended up taking away what made him different from other stars. Unlike Brock Lesnar, who thrived as a destroyer that showed up once in a while, Roman built his reputation on being the centerpiece of weekly storytelling. When you remove that consistency, the magic slowly disappears. Crowds no longer...
That is kind of true. That is kind of true. But his story's not over. You could always get that back. But I understand where you're coming from, for sure, because he was on TV every week, and the story was adding new layers every week. We're slowly kind of maybe seeing it start to pick back up with Jey Uso and the aggressiveness, but we don't know. We don't know.
Feel his absence as anticipation. They feel it as neglect. When Roman finally does show up, it doesn't feel like a game-changing moment anymore. It feels like a reminder of how long he's been gone, and that...
I mean, to me, it kind of is a game-changing moment, because whenever he comes back, he's in some serious shit. He gets involved quick. The hell?
That's the first major reason why Roman doesn't feel like Roman anymore. The Bloodline storyline also played a huge role in this shift. At its peak, it was the best thing WWE had produced in decades. It turned Jey Uso into a main event player, gave Jimmy Uso new life, and launched Solo Sikoa into relevance. But the longer the story stretched out, the more it dragged. Instead of ending at its emotional peak, WWE kept milking it, and now the family drama continues without Roman even needing to be there. The Bloodline no longer feels like Roman's story. It feels like its own beast. That once massive aura that Roman carried has been transferred to the group dynamic, and Roman himself feels strangely disconnected from the empire he built. Fans online have said it best. The story outgrew him, and once that happens, you stop being the tribal chief in the eyes of the audience and start being the guy who left his throne unattended. Momentum in wrestling is everything. Once you're not the focal point,
that just means he can come back and take his throne whenever he wants.
Once the crowd isn't chanting your name at the loudest decibels, you risk being overshadowed. And that's exactly what's happening now. Cody Rhodes has captured fan energy with his underdog pursuit of finishing the story. Seth Rollins has solidified himself as a workhorse champion, showing up week after week to give fans something fresh. Even Jey Uso, once the sidekick in Roman's story, is now building his own fan following as a single star. Every one of those shifts chips away at Roman's importance. The longer he's absent, the more fans connect with someone else. Wrestling moves fast, and if you're not in the center of it, the machine doesn't wait for you. Another issue is that Roman's character has stopped evolving. The tribal chief persona worked because it was raw, it was ruthless, and it was a total reinvention after years of failed babyface booking. But now, it's the same act on repeat, the same cadence in promos, the same themes, the same dominance narrative. What was once fresh and unpredictable now feels stale and predictable. Fans are noticing, crowds are reacting with less electricity, and social media is buzzing with the same sentiment. Roman Reigns hasn't added a new layer in years. He's plateaued. And in wrestling, once you stop growing, you start fading. Booking has played a massive role in this decline as well. WWE had the perfect chance to create a seismic moment when Cody Rhodes faced Roman at WrestleMania. The stage was set for a generational payoff. Instead, they dragged out the story, protected Roman's reign, and crushed the momentum that could have redefined the company. That decision alone shifted the fan perception. Instead of being the final boss that made stars, Roman became the champion whose dominance suffocated opportunities. And that's a
Bro, that was part of the fucking story. He was the head of the table. It's him. It added to Cody's story as well. Did John Cena not lose to The Rock the first time they fought each other at WrestleMania? Did he not get his get back the next year and win the championship?
Dangerous place to be in. Wrestling thrives on balance. The hero has to eventually overcome the villain. Without that payoff, the villain starts to look less like a compelling obstacle and more like a roadblock. Crowd reactions tell the whole story. Go back a year or two and Roman was getting some of the loudest reactions in the business. Whether it was
He still is. He still very much so is.
cheers, boos, or stunned silence, every appearance felt monumental. Now the pops aren't the same. The buzz isn't the same. Fans chant for Cody, they chant for Rollins, they chant for LA Knight, but Roman no longer dominates the soundscape the way he once did.
You mention, you don't even have to say his name in a promo, and then OTC, OTC, OTC. The crowd goes crazy for Roman Reigns, and he's not even going to show up. So, Wrestleverse, what are we talking about here?
It's not that people hate him, it's that people have moved on. And in pro wrestling, indifference is far more dangerous than hate. The conversation online is equally revealing. Forums, Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, everywhere fans gather, the sentiment has shifted. Roman's absence is no longer seen as a powerful strategy to make him feel like a rare commodity. It's seen as WWE leaning too heavily on a star who doesn't want to be around. Fans are debating not when Roman will come back, but whether his return will even matter as much as it once did. That's a huge shift from the days when his every move trended worldwide. Speculation about Roman's future is only adding fuel to the fire. Is he looking at Hollywood? Is WWE intentionally phasing him out for the next era? Is he losing interest in the grind of being a top guy? All of those questions weaken the aura because they remind fans that the tribal chief they once believed was untouchable is now just another performer weighing his options. And when Mystique fades, the character loses its edge. But let's be clear, Roman Reigns is still one of the greatest stars WWE has ever produced. He's still capable of pulling the biggest reactions on the biggest stages. He's still the man who defined an era and carried the company when it needed him most. None of that can ever be taken away. The issue isn't that Roman is finished, it's that the version of Roman we have now doesn't feel like the same force of nature that he once was. And that disconnect is what fans are reacting to. The real challenge for WWE is figuring out how to restore that aura. Does Roman need to reinvent himself again, the way he did when he first became the tribal chief? Does he need to finally pass the torch in a way that feels satisfying to the fans? Or does he risk becoming a nostalgia act before his career is even close to ending? Those are the questions WWE has to answer, because if they don't, the Roman Reigns brand could go from being the most dominant force in wrestling to a shadow.
Bro, he's still in like his prime. He said it himself, multiple interviews. He's not done. He's nowhere near done. He keeps thinking of ways to like come back and reinvent himself, like he's saying. So I think we barely touched the surface with where Roman Reigns is going to go and continue to go.
Of what it once was. And here's the truth. Fans want to care about Roman again. They want to feel that electricity, that aura, that intensity that made him the centerpiece of the industry. But WWE has to give them a reason. It's not about being unbeatable anymore. It's about being compelling, about being fresh, about being someone worth investing in. Until that happens, the conversation will continue to be the same. Roman Reigns isn't Roman Reigns.
It's Roman Reigns. You're already invested in him, bro.
Anymore. One of the biggest reasons fans are saying Roman Reigns isn't Roman anymore has to do with the shift in WWE's creative priorities. When the Bloodline saga was at its peak, every episode of SmackDown felt like a Roman showcase. The camera lingered on him, the commentary always circled back to him, and the entire roster existed in his orbit. Now, you watch the same shows and you can go an entire night without his name even being mentioned. That silence is deafening. It tells the audience that WWE is no longer centering its identity around him. And in wrestling, perception is reality. If the show doesn't feel like it needs you, then the fans slowly stop feeling like they need you too.
That's because we're in this position we're in with WWE right now because of Roman Reigns. He put it on his back. Fucking crawled, hurdled, fucking Superman punched his way to where we are today.
And this loss of aura is how predictable Roman's presence has become. For years, his entrances were spine-chilling moments. The slow walk, the music, the facial expressions, it all screamed power and dominance. Now when Roman does appear, it's almost formulaic. The entrance doesn't create goosebumps the way it used to. It's the same motions, the same presentation, the same pauses. Fans thrive on unpredictability, and Roman's act no longer provides that sense of danger or surprise. Compare that to someone like CM Punk, whose very presence right now makes the crowd feel like anything could happen. Roman doesn't give that anymore, and it's costing him. There's also a shift in fan psychology that plays into this. When Roman was defending the title non-stop, fans obsessed over the chase. Who would finally be the one to topple him? Every pay-per-view carried that anticipation. Now that the streak has gone on for so long without any serious jeopardy, the intrigue is gone. Fans no longer believe anyone can beat him, but instead of that making him feel dominant, it makes his matches feel less important. If the outcome feels predetermined, the investment fades. That's why his title defenses don't generate the same level of hype. It's not disbelief in his dominance. It's apathy toward a story that feels like it has no end. So now we turn it to you. Do you think Roman can bounce back and reclaim that aura, or has his time as the guy passed? Drop your thoughts.
Maybe his time as a guy passed for now. But if Roman Reigns wants to get back to the top, Roman Reigns will be back at the top, bro. No question about it. And that's not me, oh my god, you're glazing Roman Reigns. I'm just acknowledging our tribal chief. I'm being real. I'm keeping it a buck. He's the biggest guy in wrestling. He doesn't have to be on the show every week. Like, what? He's earned that right.
In the comments, smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And don't forget to follow our Instagram page, Wrestling Revival. The link is in the pinned comment. That's where we post all the behind-the-scenes content.
I guess the video is over. It was more of like an argumentative essay trying to get your point across, persuasiveness, you know? But that's what I'm here for. That's what we engage in discourse for. I gave my point, you gave your point. We did not see eye to eye, but that's okay. That is okay. I think Roman Reigns, he's just, he was at the top for a long time. And now he's kind of just playing the cards he's dealt. That's cool. That's cool. He's definitely on the... I don't even know, because he's still young. What is he, like 40 in his 40s? He can go for like another 10 years if he wants to. It's up to him. It's up to his body. He is in Hollywood now, taking roles, doing this, doing that. But he said it. His heart lies in that ring. And he wants to be the first superstar to actually juggle Hollywood and WWE and whatever else he's going on in his life to the fullest capabilities. So, I think Roman Reigns has plenty left in the tank for us. I think his time away from his throne is only for the moment. You know Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker is going to be a WrestleMania main event. You know Roman Reigns is going to come back probably main event WrestleMania this year. Him versus Seth Rollins. Who knows? Who knows? But the OTC, TC1, our tribal chief, he's far from gone. And he's far from irrelevant. So, I acknowledge you, Roman Reigns. I do. I really, really do. But, for now, this video is over. You suck.
I want to have sex with your wife.
You suck. Hey, man, let me know. Do you agree? Is Roman Reigns stale? Is he gone? Has TKO killed Roman Reigns? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really think so. But let me know. Let me know what you think. If you made it this far, if you're still here, thank you for tapping in. I appreciate it. I really, really do. My name is Don. I see you.